May profits be upon you. Welcome to another weekly Forex forecast. I am RT Money, and I appreciate you guys tuning in each weekend to find out what the best setups are for the week that is coming. Make sure you hit the like button and the boost button, and make sure you leave a comment or a question in the comment section. The comments help to grow this channel. Along with subscriptions. Hey man, make sure you sub to the my channel so that you can catch all the updates and get notified directly when I give an update throughout the week, because I release a lot of good information on the forecast throughout the week. Okay, now let's take a look at the Dixie. The US dollar index, we're starting there. Listen, I'm looking at the monthly, but what you need to look at is the quarterly. All right, the 3 months. Why? Because there's an interesting point I want to bring up. You see how we have this quarterly area of supply here that price ran up into. All right, you can see the higher highs and higher lows that were used to get up in there. All right, and this was just a retracement, right? Right. Well, once it hit the supply, price started to fall, but then we run into this. Now, this is where I want you to pay close attention. Okay, if I can just get this right. Boom. All right. What happens is we're looking at this area of supply right now. All right. Even though we're reacting off a higher time frame area of supply, just a big old giant bearish order block, price went into this consolidation. All right. And I've been talking about this particular one for like a month. All right. But what you need to see is the structure it leaves. Price pushed down, swept the low, swept that low, this low here, and then pushed up with a bullish engulfer, leaving this area right here. All right. Right now, what we have developing is a bullish fair value gap. All right. But this is an area, if you extend it this way, this is going to be an area where price may find some good support to go higher. Why would price go higher? Because we haven't broken the larger uptrend just yet. No, we haven't. That's plain to see. After price broke this the bearish structure here in a bearish way, then we started to move up, and started that retracement. Right now, this is right around the 786 on the Fibonacci retracement tool. If you just extend it out, you'll see that 786, right? And price pushed down, and then we push back up into that 786 again. Is this going to be enough to push price lower? Price is only going to turn bearish on the macro level, and when we break this low here around 89.94. All right, that's when you see a pullback, and then we'll start talking about, hey, these might be the sell side target. But right now, we're still in an uptrend, even though this is just, we see this pullback into this consolidation. This is just a consolidative pullback. You understand? Once it breaks this, then we have a reversal, and that'll confirm the reversal, and we're heading down. Now let's go to the monthly. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but we are bearish. All right. This is Donald Trump's last time in office when he came in, and you see what happened to the U.S. dollar. All right, and the equity markets went up. All right, I'm looking for that same thing. I've been talking about that for a couple of weeks, and I'm looking for that same action to happen over here. All right, where we are right now, where we ran into this area of supply. All right, and I'm looking for price to push to the downside, and we're just getting started. Just getting started. If we go to the weekly, like this top-down analysis going on. All right, this is an area that I just pointed to on the quarterly that is an area of fair value, and price tapped into it and went higher up into this the supply, I'm looking for price to make its way down even further. Yeah, maybe we get a brief pullback and then we're going to come down because this low is what got me attracted. I'll show you why. All right. This is, again, this is the quarterly fair value gap, or uh, area of fair value, otherwise known as an order block. And you see that price did tap into it once before. All right. And if we go to the, doggone it, we go to the daily, you can see where price is now. I'm attracted to it. Why? Because we have low resistance liquidity at this low. Price takes this low. There's a good reason to believe. Oops. All right. Price takes that low. Why won't it go? I don't understand. If price takes this low, if we get down to that low, I'm thinking that's going to spark the pullback, to the continuation of the overall bullish trend, because we're coming into that macro level, bullish engulfer, that macro level fair area of fair value. As we push in, take this low, there is a, like I pointed out on the quarterly, there is a fair value gap that is developing. Once we come into this area, we're going to be in that fair value gap. If we fill it, we're going to be. I think there's a good reason to think that we're going to be heading back to these highs. All right. So, in the meantime, we're bearish. We are bearish, and I believe the low of Friday will be the first target. We're coming into this area of demand. I'm looking for price to push up. All right. This might be a little up and down, like a little consolidative. And then we're going to be heading down towards this low resistance liquidity for the sweep, quite possibly to that low right around 105.5. Okay. If we go to the euro, that took too long. If we go to the euro, you can see on the weekly that the last week's candle, very bullish. You see how it broke higher than the previous week, closed above it, closed above that one, the week before that, and the week before that, closed above all of them. All right. And we are heading into this area of supply. This is the candle that I was thinking price would possibly find some resistance to, but I think it'll be just enough to create another fair value gap here to continue higher. If we go to the daily, what you can see is price did create a bullish fair value gap here, and price tapped into it. Oh, come on, man. All right. Price tapped into it already to make the push higher. We have a nice long expansion candle here. I'm looking for price to create another. This is the low of the fair value gap, and this could be a fair value gap that price could tap into and go higher too. I would like to take that high, take that pullback into that fair value gap for higher prices. Once price takes this high, these highs are now vulnerable. All right, because these are low resistance liquidity. And once we take this high, this confirms the overall pullback is already started. All right, we're early in the matter now because we had this pullback after this low break. We had this pullback and a break of this structure here. All right, that is a change in the state of delivery, and price pulled back, and we're on our way up. I'm looking for this to continue. That's the euro. Not too much different for the rest of them that'll to follow. All right, this is the daily on the pound, and you see the bullish candle. You see that price tapped into the fair value gap and continued higher. And you see how extensive this candle is. A lot of room for a fair value gap to develop come Monday and then Tuesday tapping in. And then we can see higher prices from there. Yeah, I'm definitely bullish on euro and pound. If we look at the Aussie dollar, doggone it, I don't know what's going on with this thing. It's me. All right. You can see that we took these lows, had that bearish break of structure. We took the low from all the way over here, but we don't have to see this low in order for price to go higher. After we took these lows, you expect a pullback, and the pullback has started. This is on this scale, it's like a chalk, a change of character, or a change in the state of delivery. And price closed above it on a daily basis, on just a daily closing basis, and we created a bullish fair value gap here. Now, this candle is expansive, but it's not really big on expansion. But I do believe it's enough to continue next week into this area of supply, and we may see the fair value gap develop and price can tap into it or continue higher from here into that area of supply. Once we reach this area of supply, I'm looking at these highs here. This isn't a strong area of supply. I'm looking at that high. I think we're going to be making it all the way up there for this low resistance liquidity run to that high. Yeah, but it's not just going to go straight there for sure. I'm looking for price to quite possibly. This is the difference with the Aussie dollar. It did not tap into this fair value gap as of yet. If it pulls back here, I will happily take that buy all the way up. Yes, I would. All right, but there's a chance that it'll just go straight up here and then create a fair value gap for prices to go higher. So I'm looking out for both scenarios. Got it? This is my protected low. As long as we're above this protected low, I'm looking for nothing but buys. That's it. For sure. This is interesting. This low is right above this fair value gap. I want to see a pullback, and then I would love to take that long. All right. If we look at the New Zealand dollar, New Zealand dollar has an area to draw to. This area of supply, we have a buy up before the sell off. All right, this is the total area is in play. We have the protected high here. All right, we break that high, then we know that the pullback, the retracement is on. But this is our early warning sign there that we have a market structure shift here. I'm looking for price to pull back into a bullish fair value gap that could happen there, right? If I can just get this off. All right, a bullish fair value gap that could happen there, or yeah, there ain't really going to be no or. If price continues higher and takes that high, just it may create it here. But I'm looking for fair value gaps that beget other fair value gaps. You understand? That gives you the clue that the order flow is strong and bullish. All right. So next week, I'm definitely looking for this to be my short-term buy side liquidity sweep here, and I would like to see this high. Come on, man, you're killing me over here. I'd like to see that high taken as well at some point next week. All right. If we look at Canadian dollar has been messing around. All right, messing folks over, but you got to look into it. Look at the daily. All right. If the US dollar is bearish, I'm going to be bullish here. All right. And there's a good reason to be bullish. Just look at this. All right. We had price consolidate here. All right. You had it poke. It's poke its nose here to create the low. All right. Then you see it go high to create the high of the range. So this line goes up, this line comes down, right? Then price finally sweeps this low. Now, some people are going to call this a fake out. It's just a grab of sell side liquidity, and then we go up to the top and take the high, right? What kind of structure does it leave in its wake? An area of fair value. I'm looking for this to be tapped back into after it takes this high. I'm looking for this to be tapped back into, and that's exactly what happens. All right, because this is an area of fair value. This is an order block, folks, and this is where you want to take your trade. You wait for price to come back into this, and you look for buys. I'm looking for buys. This is my protected low. As long as this low is not broken, I'm looking for nothing but buys. Price came right back into this order block right here. All right. We just refined the overall area of demand, and price bounces right off of where it's supposed to bounce. All right. And we go higher. Now, this candle did not close higher than the previous candle, Thursday's candle. No, because we're in a consolidation. It went up here and it came back into the consolidation. But I do believe that we shall continue higher. It could come back to take that low. It could come back to take this low, sweep the low into the demand zone, and continue higher. But either way, nothing but buys for me. All right. If we look at the US dollar CAD, which is the opposite of the CAD futures, you're just looking for the exact opposite down. That's all. All right. Price did not take the low of Thursday's candle, but I'm going to look at, you see how wicked this was? This is what you get with CFDs versus the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, which regulates the futures market. This is evil. It made the same buy up to sell off. We closed below the low. You're expecting lower prices to come from here, but price does this wickedness and goes up here and sweeps the high and then starts to consolidate. But I do believe in the end, that we have enough here in this area of supply to bring price down into the weekly fair value gap down here. All right. So that's where I think we're going. All right. In the US dollar CAD, if we go to the Swiss, all right, I'm going to go to the Swiss, and it's basically the same reading. You see the buy up before the sell off. This is great. Price pulls back into the supply here, and we did react, but price pushed higher and gave us a change in the state of delivery here. This then becomes our area of demand, and we're looking for price to go higher. That's all. I'm looking for buys, nothing but buys, and we have an area of demand to work from. There's a chain that developed here. It comes back into the supply here. All right, pushes higher, takes that high again, a double fractal break to the upside, and creates another area of demand. I'm looking for price to open and continue higher. Okay. Now, if we go, you're looking for exactly the opposite in the opposite way for the US dollar Swiss. More down. I'm looking for price to hit that low as a a draw on liquidity. If we look at the Japanese yen, this is a little hard to discern, but what it is price pushed up higher into this daily fair value gap here, which is nested within a weekly fair value gap. I'm expecting lower prices, folks. I'm expecting lower prices from here. If price takes out the protected high here and goes higher, we get a bullish close above that, then I will start to think about a reversal. All right, that's when I will start to think about a reversal. Right now, we're consolidating, so you got to be careful. This is not a market I'm interested in just yet until I see some something definite. Thank you.